Hi everybody, welcome to Granny J Clay and a little bit of play today. I usually don't use clay when I play, but today I'm going to add both of those together. So we have a little bit of clay and a little bit of play. Now, since it's summertime, and boy is it summertime here in Kansas, it's been really warm and really humid. But one of the things that I have been seeing a lot about lately are the pool noodles. And so this one I happened to find at a store called Target here in the USA. And I grabbed it and I thought, you know what, I wanted to do something with this. Now this is just a chunk that I cut off the pool noodle. I haven't found a pool noodle before that was shaped like a star, so that was kind of fun. So we're going to be using the pool noodle, a star cutter, my X-Acto knife, some clay that is marbled together, and some kind of a rubber stamp of some sort, maybe this or even maybe this. I don't know if you can see this very well, that you can sort of wrap around the star when we start imprinting it. I wanted to show you the one that I did. This is the one that I had done in blue and pearl color. And I wrapped it in clay, which is an interesting thing in the first place. You kind of wrap it here and there and kind of do the best you can, and then you press on it with the rubber stamps. So I'll show you a little bit of that today. And then I made another one, and this is not out of clay. This is just a piece of the pool noodle that I cut off, and then I used some Mod Podge and I put a glitter on top of it. And you could certainly hang that, make several of them. They're very lightweight. Now the one with the clay is not as lightweight, but I think it's really pretty, and you could hook several of those together too. You could put them on the Christmas tree, you could put them wherever you really wanted to put them. So let's get busy, let's do it. Move this away here a little bit and explain it as I go. First of all, you have to start out with some marbled clay, and today, just so I could make it nice and bright, I used green and yellow. And I blended them together. I just took two snakes side by side and I twisted them and marbled them together. And then after I did that, I flattened it out with my acrylic roller like this. And then I ran it through my pasta machine and I got this piece. You don't want the colors to be so mixed together that you don't see the marbled pattern. You want to see the marbled pattern. Now, as I do this, I'll show you what I did. I cut off of the pool noodle, I cut off about, I suppose a ½ inch thick star. And I used this, I happen to have this, I bought it at Michael's in the cake department. It has a sharp edge. And so what I did is I just took it and I cut a star off of it. Now as you noticed, when you cut the star, it still has the hole in the middle. So in order to get rid of your hole, what you want to do is take a cookie cutter that has sharp ends, and one that fits just within the borders of the star. You want maybe, I don't know, ½ inch or so of room out here that you want to cover with clay. And what I did was I just pressed this down as hard as I could. It won't cut through it, but it made a mark. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but then I took my X-Acto knife and I went ahead and just cut that piece out. And here's the piece that I cut out of here. Now you're probably wondering, let's see how that goes in, how I can bake this in the oven. Well, I wondered that too, and I will warn you ahead of time, it kind of gives off a funny smell, and it's probably pretty toxic. I've only made one of these, but I thought, well, I'm just going to try to make another one and show you guys how to make one. If you want to do that, you can. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. But now the next part is very easy. Let me just hang my tool up here. You just lay this down, and this is just kind of do it as you can. And so what I've been doing is I just kind of cut the middle out a little bit. Take that out, and then kind of slice it like that. You don't really have to be exact with it, because you can, once you have the clay on, and you come with your rubber mat and press on it, you're not going to be able to tell if there was something that wasn't connecting with the clay or not. So what I do is I just take it and then I start pushing the clay around. I know this looks a little goofy, doesn't it? But I just start pushing it in as best you can. It's kind of a strange, messy thing, but it's going to look pretty. You'll see. Now, sometimes you're going to run out of clay here. What you can do is just go back and get a piece of clay that you cut out, like that piece of clay you cut out of the middle, and just make sure. The nice thing about this is it gives, it's springy. And so you can kind of take it and shape it as you want, as you go. And we'll check the other side once we're done. This doesn't look like it's very pretty right now, but it'll get better. This is what I came up with before. Okay, so let's just keep going here, and let's just keep pushing the clay around it, keeping the marbled look. If you kept running it through the pasta machine, it would get muddy. It would blend, and really we don't want it to blend. Now what I don't want it to do is to leave air bubbles in there, so I'm really going around and kind of pinching the clay like that. There we go. Now you can see on the other side I need some clay, so I've got other clay here that I had left over when I cut some of it off. So I'm going to bring some here. I know this looks like so haphazard, and it is. It is. And those of you that are kind of perfectionists in the clay world, you probably won't like this. But it worked for me the first time, it'll work for me the second time as well. So what I'm doing is just pulling strips off this clay, bringing it around, making sure I have all the holes covered, and then I can tear some off. Okay, there's one right there that doesn't want to close up, so I'm going to bring some more clay around. Oh, this is fun. Okay. All right. I know you. Hopefully, you're giggling along with me. You see how that just doesn't want to close up there? So just take another piece, and I've got a little bit more here. You can see that it needs it here. Now, if nothing else, and this gives you a good laugh today, that's good. That's good. We need to giggle. All right, I just want to make sure it's all covered and I don't feel air pockets in there. So I'm just pressing, and I'm wearing gloves today because I had an accident with this finger. Well, I don't know if you can call it an accident, but I was playing ball with our little peekapoo, and she has very sharp teeth. And I threw the ball for her, and she brought it back, and I went down to reach for it. And sometimes she'll just dart at the ball quickly and get it before I get it. It's kind of a game she likes to play. And sure enough, she darted at it, and she got my finger with her long, sharp tooth. And once it was in there, she pulled away, and so she ripped my finger. So I got a little rip right there, and it's a lot better right now. It happened this past week. But did it bleed? Oh my goodness. So, I didn't want any blood on the video. That wouldn't be good. So, the moral of the story is try to be quicker than your doggy if you're playing games like that. All right, I think I've got enough on here. I'm going to push it. And like I said, that's kind of the fun part of this is this styrofoam is pliable. You can just push it and shape it. All right. Push it and shape it as much as you want to. As you can see, I'm trying to keep my finger that I hurt out of there a little bit. But look at this. It is so hot upstairs in our room where I do this, where I do my claying, The clay really is soft today. So even though I've got fans going, you can probably hear those in the background. You know what? That's too air filled there. I'm going to just come around and do this. But we need the fans to bring the cool air from the downstairs upstairs. We have our home is a little bit older, and just going to wrap that around and see if I can make that stick there too. And so the circulation for some reason just isn't as good. But as you well know, heat rises. And since it's an upstairs, we get the heat upstairs. All right, that does not want to cover. Let me see if I can strip. There we go. All right, now, when I finally get it to where I think I've got all the air pockets out, what I'm going to do is, I think this, if you can tell, is a sheet that I bought. It's a little rubber sheet that I bought from Michael's in the cake department. And it was a great big sheet, and you can use it for texturing your cakes and fondant and so forth. And it's so pliable that I really like to use it. I think I'll use this one. This is fairly pliable too, and I really like that print on several things, but I think today I'm going to just see if I can do this one. Let's see how it looks. You can just decide where you want it. You know what? That is not as pretty as this one is. Let me try this. Yeah, I like this much better. Okay. Yep, that's better. And once you get it on, it will give a little bit in spots, and so you can pull some clay here and there. Well, that one doesn't want to pull so easily. Let me see if I can move it a little bit so it covers it up. Maybe I have a little bit here I can spare. Oh boy, this will be your blooper video for the week, won't it? Oh, this is too funny. Okay, now I'm going to mold it and make it happen. Isn't that nice? You're the boss of the clay. I heard somebody else say that, and I thought, yes, we are. Make it do what you want it to do, even if it's on a goofy project like this. So, all right. Here and there, I'm going to take a little bit off of this and bring it up here. Okay, now I'm going to continue to walk this around. This is cracking me up. Oh my, this isn't quite turning out as well as my blue one was turning out. All right, that's better. Here we go. Now we're coming along. All right. Now, you're going to just take a little bit more time to do this, and this would be something fun to do with kids. You could use the Fimo Kids clay on this. That's really a soft, soft clay. I think I used it in one of my other videos. It's not generally the one, certainly not the one that I use all the time. I use Primo, and this is Primo, but it is soft today. Wow. Okay. Sometimes it's nice to, or not. Okay, I'm just gonna slap it. This is ridiculous. Well, if you want to try it, it actually can turn out pretty nice. And I think that this piece, when I did this piece, I think I made the clay thicker. I had a thicker piece off of my pasta machine. This I ran through on about, I think it was about a 4. And I think this one was probably my highest and widest and thickest is a 0. This might have been run through on a 1. And I think that'd be just a lot easier to do. But nevertheless, if you would keep working at this, you would get it just exactly the way you want it. But I have got funny things here and there that don't want to close up. And, okay. I'm not going to bore you any longer with this. I'm not sure if I'm going to post this video. Oh, sure I am. Why not? Now this one I popped a hole in, and you can do that as well. Once it's baked, you can just drill a hole through there. So there's my fun, my play clay, and we got to giggle along the way, and why not? All right, so that's my star. If you want to make some, you go right ahead and make your clay thicker so it will come around. You can see how pretty it would be if the clay was a little bit thicker. So, you know, as I said, when I made my first video, you're going to get me in the raw, so in the rough, and this is in the rough, in the rough, for sure, for sure. So, giggle away with me, have a good day, and let me show you just a couple of other things that I've been making lately. This one, hi puppies, here is a necklace. That's a bird in the middle. And I just made that last night. Isn't that pretty? That's pretty. I used a rubber stamp to get that in there. So that is the end of my video for today. I was going to show you this as well. I'm not done with this. I've got to put the stars on it. But that turned out really well, I thought. That's going to be a cabochon for a necklace. So I'll put some stars where the blue is. And actually some things do turn out pretty well. So that's my giggle video for today. You have a great afternoon, and I'll be back with you soon. Bye-bye.